Am I audible properly? My screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have started with the second chapter and now we have up to the last part of chapter number 2. Okay, so up till now we have covered these points. If we want to summarize, we have seen what is the importance of decision making. So the chapter name is Decision and Management of Business Ethics. So we have seen the decision making or the decision management, how the effective decisions are made in the business. So as we have seen in the start point of this chapter, that ethical decision making is very important, because whenever you are going to take any decision at any situation in the business, at that time that ethics must be followed. And in this chapter we have seen various points related to that, how to follow the ethics while the decisions are being made. Okay, so मग त्याचे मॉडेल बघितले आपण. So John's model is most commonly used for ethical decision making. It's 4 steps we have seen. So then we have seen the individual and situational influences on decision making process. Then business ethics management, त्याचे 8 component बघितले आपण. Then setting standard for ethical behavior. So under that we have seen 4 types of code of ethics. That is business, then organizational or professional code of ethics. The 4 type बघितले आपण. Then we have seen how the stakeholders, so this point actually we have started, how the stakeholders relations are managed. And after that we have to see these 2 points, how to access the ethical performance and how to organize the business ethics management. So whatever points we have covered, actually due to this Diwali holidays and some between other things, it has been a long time that we have seen this chapter. So I think whatever we have seen, that is clear to you up till now. So in the last lecture, we have started with the point, the managing the relations with stakeholders. Now it is very important aspect, because management of relationship, let it be in the personal life or let it be in the professional life, that is very important, because whatever are the things, if the relations are good, then only the business can be successful. So we have day-to-day life also we see various example. की जर कुठं रिलेशन जर स्पॉइल झाले तर how that is going to affect on overall business. So that is just regular part, but technically if we see the managing relationship with stakeholders, this block I have shown you in the previous lecture, त्याच्यामध्ये 7 steps दिल्या होत्या. In that the 7 steps were given for managing the relationship, why it is important, and what are the 7 key steps in managing the stakeholders relationship. So that 7 points are clear to everyone that we have discussed in the previous lecture. Can you remember that? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
That simple points also you can write as an answer. But here are some other points that we have to consider when stakeholders management point we are going to discuss. Okay. At the stakeholder sobatche relationship manage kartana, we have to make use of both the theories, normative ethical theory as well as the descriptive ethical theory. So normative ethical theory, that is giving you the basic principles, or that is giving you the basic guidelines for behavior, how to behave, and what is good, what is bad, that is described in the normative ethical theory. So that is used as a reference line. And descriptive ethical theory मध्ये काय basic working principle? Can anyone tell? Normative ethical theory मध्ये basic norms दिलेले असतात, whereas in descriptive ethical theory it is telling how to take the decisions or how to take the ethical decisions in day-to-day life, or what are the steps for ethical decision making, that is given in the descriptive ethical theory. Okay, so these 2 theories also we have to take, or we have to use when we are going to manage the relationship with the stakeholders. So always the stakeholders are very important. त्याचं काही ते ऍडिशनल डिस्क्रिप्शन दिलेलं आहे. इन मोर स्टेक होल्डर फोकस्ड कंट्रीज सच एज UK. So in UK, the more focus is given on stakeholders. They are given a lot of importance. Many managers appear to have at least some degree of recognition for stakeholders claim. म्हणजे आता स्टेकहोल्डरने एखादी डिमांड केली किंवा त्यांनी एखादा क्लेम केला तर यू हॅव टू गिव्ह ऍटलीस्ट सम डिग्री ऑफ रेकग्नेशन, म्हणजे काहीतरी तुम्हाला त्याला वेटेज द्यावं लागतं. सो कंट्री टू कंट्री, organization to organization, it depends that how much importance it is given to the stakeholders demand or stakeholders opinion. Then next point, if you see in the management of relationship with the stakeholders, not only business but various organizations including charities, schools, universities, government, they have range of stakeholders whose interests might need to be taken into account. So not only in case of business, but in various organizations, in charities, schools, universities, they are giving the stakeholders claim as a important weightage. So there are two types of stakeholders relationship. One it can be in the positive way, and one it can be in the negative way. So some stakeholders, they may have positive opinion, and another stakeholder, they may have the negative opinion. That can also happen. Okay, so that is also one thing that we have to keep in mind. Then next point, it is accessing stakeholders importance. आता प्रॅक्टिकली जर बघितलं आपण किंवा आयडियली जर बघितलं तर प्रत्येक स्टेकहोल्डर and his opinion is important from industry point of view. But still, if 10 stakeholders are having some demand or 10 stakeholders are making some claims, then how you will make their importance, म्हणजे कुठल्या स्टेकहोल्डरच्या डिमांडला आधी इम्पॉर्टन्स द्यायचं किंवा कुठल्या स्टेकहोल्डरची डिमांड तुम्ही आधी कन्सिडर करायची, that you have to keep in mind. Okay, then for that, some points should be considered. So there are 2-3 points which can be considered as a reference line. So basically, before going to that 3 points, just I will revise that. Who are the main stakeholders? Customers, employees, and shareholders. These are the main key stakeholders for any business. Customer, त्याचे employee आणि त्याचे shareholder. These are the main stakeholder. So can anyone tell what is the difference in shareholder and stakeholder? Two similar words are there. Shareholders are one type of stakeholder. That statement I will make. So is it correct? Shareholders are one type of stakeholders. Is it correct? Yes, please give some responses. Whether that statement is correct. Yes, Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi Chauhan, Vaishnavi Deshmukh. Swati. I have made the statement that shareholder is one type of stakeholder. Is it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, correct.
स्टेक होल्डर म्हणजे काय, ज्याचा त्या कंपनीच्या प्रॉफिट आणि लॉसशी किंवा फायनान्सशी संबंध असतो, दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज स्टेक होल्डर. सो देर आर मेनी स्टेक होल्डर्स फॉर एनी बिझनेस. त्यातले मेन 3 कुठले सांगितले आपण? कस्टमर, एम्प्लॉई आणि शेअर होल्डर. सो शेअर होल्डर इज so he is investing share, so as per the profit and loss of the company, he is also getting the same benefit equivalent to that. So how to access the importance of the stakeholder? For that, 3 main parameters you have to consider, and that 3 main parameters are PLU. You can remember in this way. So P stands for power, L stands for legitimacy, and U stands for urgency. आता accessing stakeholders importance म्हणजे काय? 10 स्टेकहोल्डरनी 10 क्लेम केले तर तुम्ही कुठल्या आधी त्याच्यातला प्रायोरिटाइज करणार किंवा कुठल्या क्लेमला आधी तुम्ही प्रायोरिटी वरती कन्सिडर करणार, ते कसं ठरवायचं? तर त्या स्टेक होल्डरच्या 3 गोष्टी तुम्हाला कन्सिडर कराव्या लागतात. सो फॉलोइंग इज द कॉम्प्रिहेन्सिव्ह रिव्ह्यू ऑफ स्टेक होल्डर मॅनेजमेंट लिटरेचर. So this Mitchell scientist suggests that 3 relationship attributes likely to determine the perceived importance of stakeholders. So there are some technical words किंवा काही टेक्निकल लँग्वेज आहे या पीपीटी मध्ये. So I am trying to explain the things in the simplest word. So sometimes there might be some changes in the words whatever are there in this PPT and whatever I am explaining. But the basic technical words you have to at least keep in mind. So 3 parameters आहेत ज्याच्यावरून तुम्ही त्या स्टेक होल्डरचे इम्पॉर्टन्स ठरवू शकता. पॉवर, लेगिटिमेसी आणि अर्जन्सी. Power means what? The perceived ability of stakeholders to influence organizational action. So what power does that what power does that stakeholder has? That is first point. Power means not in terms of financial, पण त्या कंपनीच्या हिरार्की मध्ये त्या स्टेक होल्डरची किती पॉवर आहे. जर पॉवर जास्त असेल तर ऑब्विसली दॅट स्टेक होल्डर्स ओपिनियन यू हॅव टू कन्सिडर ॲज अ फर्स्ट. सपोज तो तुमचा इम्पॉर्टंट शेअर होल्डर असेल किंवा तुमच्या फायनान्शियल गोष्टी कंपनीच्या त्या कस्टमर वरती असतील बऱ्याच डिपेंड, तर वी कॅन से ही इज हॅव्हिंग गुड फायनान्शियल पॉवर. इफ ही इज द मेन कस्टमर, जर तुमच्या 100 कस्टमर पैकी 80% कस्टमर त्या शेअर स्टेक होल्डर वरती डिपेंडंट असतील तर यू कॅन से ऑल्सो ही इज हॅव्हिंग गुड पॉवर. म्हणजे पॉवर यू हॅव टू कन्सिडर इन ऑल एस्पेक्ट, नॉट ओनली फायनान्शियल. किती पॉवर आहे त्या स्टेक होल्डरची त्या बिझनेसच्या हिरार्कीमध्ये, दॅट इज फर्स्ट पॅरामीटर. देन लेगिटिमेसी म्हणजे कितपत त्याची डिमांड लिगली योग्य आहे. सो लेगिटिमेसीचा अर्थ काय होतो, लिगली किती वैध आहे ती गोष्ट त्यांनी मागितलेली किंवा जो काही क्लेम आहे तो. सो वेदर द ऑर्गनायझेशन परसिव्स द स्टेक होल्डर्स ऍक्शन ऍज अ desirable, proper or appropriate. If that demand is appropriate, then only it can be considered. If it is illegal, then though it is that person is having good power, still that demand will not be considered by the company. That is second parameter. And urgency. Urgency means what? The degree to which stakeholder claims are perceived to call for immediate attention. आता जर तुमच्या कामगारांनी संपच केला बिझनेस मध्ये, तुमचं मेन प्रोडक्शनच थांबलं तर ऑब्विसली इट विल कम अंडर द अर्जन्सी पार्ट, बिकॉज युअर मेन बिझनेस विल स्टॉप देअर लाईक दॅट. मग स्टेक होल्डरचं इम्पॉर्टन्स असेस करताना हे 3 पॅरामीटर मेनली कन्सिडर करावं लागतात. पॉवर ऑफ दॅट स्टेक होल्डर, लेगिटिमेसी ऑफ दॅट स्टेक होल्डर अँड अर्जन्सी ऑफ द स्टेक होल्डर. ओके, सो इज इट क्लिअर these 3 parameters? This can be asked as a MCQ also. समजलं काय हा पॉइंट, स्टेक होल्डर्स इम्पॉर्टन्स, हाऊ टू असेस दॅट? Yes, is it clear, Meenakshi?
Yes, ma'am.
Then again the same point it is given here. These 3 points you have to consider. Now, what kind of stakeholders relationship can be there? So as I explained just before 5 minutes, there can be confrontal in nature. So relationship between businessman and the stakeholder tended to have confrontational in nature. म्हणजे काय गुंतागुंतीचं असतं ते रिलेशन. So sometimes it is negative and sometimes it is positive. So that is explained in these 2 slides. So which types of relationships are there? First, this is the 2 types of relations. So here it is, first type of relation is just as companies might exploit consumers or downsize employees, consumers might equally boycott company products. म्हणजे इथं सगळे निगेटिव्ह. How the stakeholders relationship can be negative, that is given in this slide. Boycott म्हणजे काय, थांबवणे किंवा त्याच्यावर बहिष्कार टाकणे. जर कंपनीच्या सगळ्या प्रोडक्ट वरती कस्टमरने बहिष्कार टाकला तर that can be one negative kind of relationship of stakeholder with businessman. Or employees could initiate industrial actions, they can take some industrial actions. Then this suppliers withheld credit competitors engage in industrial pressure groups and employ aggressive direct actions contest against the company. So what are the some negative actions can be taken by stakeholders against the company that is given in this slide. जर स्टेकहोल्डरनी जर कंपनीच्या विरोधात जाऊन गोष्टी काही करायच्या म्हणल्या तर ते त्यांच्यावरती प्रोडक्ट वरती बंदी आणू शकतात, बहिष्कार टाकू शकतात किंवा संप स्ट्राईक होऊ शकतो त्या केसमध्ये. Or they may get engaged with the competitors and indirectly they can reveal some confidential things. That is some negative relationship. And what can be the another positive relationship? So it has been recognized that there might be also place for cooperation between stakeholders to begin with. So explosion in business collaboration. So what are that particular points? So collaboration between business and other stakeholders such as non-governmental organizations, government bodies and trade unions. Much of these developments in broader stakeholder collaboration was in the field of environmental management. So there can be collaboration in some of the things about the stakeholders with the government. So that is the thing given here. So there can be some positive things and negative things. आता स्टेकहोल्डर जर पॉझिटिव्हली असतील कंपनीच्या साइडनी तर they can make what we can say advertisement of the products. They can always work for welfare of the company. So like that points you have to consider. Then there are some 9 points that just you have to remember that टाइप्स ऑफ स्टेकहोल्डर्स रिलेशनशिप. आता मेनली 2 टाइपचे स्टेकहोल्डर्स चे रिलेशनशिप असू शकतात कंपनी सोबत. वन इट इज एज अ पॉझिटिव्ह and another it is a negative. So positive relationship, obviously they will work for welfare of that business, and negative we can say they will have some action against the company or which can have the negative impact of the profit of the कंपनी. हे 2 टाइपचे रिलेशनशिप असू शकतात, पॉझिटिव्ह आणि निगेटिव्ह. आता ह्याच्यामध्ये जर अजून डिटेल आपण बघितलं तर ऑल ऑफ these डेव्हलपमेंट्स फोकस ऑन बिझनेस इथिक्स अँड स्पेसिफिक शेअर स्टेकहोल्डर्स ग्रुप. स्टेकहोल्डर्स रिलेशनशिप कॅन टेक अ व्हरायटी ऑफ डिफरंट फॉर्म्स इन्क्लुडिंग द फॉलोइंग. म्हणजे अजून जर डिटेल आपण बघितले स्टेकहोल्डरचे रिलेशनशिप तर त्याच्यामध्ये मेनली हे 9 पॉइंट तुम्हाला कन्सिडर करावे लागतात की ज्या ज्या गोष्टी ह्या रिलेशन मध्ये इन्व्हॉल्व असू शकतात. सो दॅट 9 थिंग्स आर चॅलेंज. द रिलेशनशिप इज बेस्ड ऑन चॅलेंज. इट इज बेस्ड ऑन स्पीडिंग पार्टनर्स, वन वे सपोर्ट, म्युच्युअल रिस्पेक्ट, एंडोर्समेंट, प्रोजेक्ट डायलॉग्स, स्ट्रॅटेजी डायलॉग, टास्क फोर्स आणि जॉईंट व्हेंचर ऑर अलायन्सेस. म्हणजे ह्या 9 टाइपचे रिलेशनशिप हे स्टेकहोल्डरचे असू शकतात. सो व्हॉट आर दॅट वी विल सी. सो इफ द क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड व्हॉट आर द टाइप्स ऑफ स्टेकहोल्डर्स रिलेशनशिप, सो फर्स्ट वी हॅव टू राईट इट कॅन बी हॅव 2 टाइप. मीन्स देअर कॅन बी द पॉझिटिव्ह कोलॅबोरेशन अँड अनदर ह्या स्लाइड मध्ये दिलेलं आहे की जर निगेटिव्ह इम्पॅक्ट असेल किंवा इफ द स्टेकहोल्डर्स आर हॅव्हिंग सम कंप्लेंट्स अगेन्स्ट कंपनी, म्हणजे निगेटिव्ह इम्पॅक्ट म्हणू शकतो आपण त्याला, तर ते ह्या गोष्टी करू शकतात. ओके, सो दिस 9 पॉइंट्स वी विल सी वन बाय वन. सो फर्स्ट इट इज चॅलेंज. सो रिलेशनशिप बेस्ड ऑन म्युच्युअल अपोजिशन अँड कन्फ्लिक्ट. म्हणजे बऱ्याचदा असं होतं की दो द रिलेशन्स आर गुड बट देर आर सम कन्फ्लिक्ट. कन्फ्लिक्ट म्हणजे काय, मतभेद असू शकतात. स्टेक होल्डरचं एक मत असू शकतं, बिझनेसमनचं एक असू शकतं एखाद्या प्रोडक्ट बाबत, त्याच्या सेल बाबत, त्याच्या प्राइस बाबत. सो दॅट रिलेशनशिप इज रिअली बेस्ड ऑन द challenge. So you have, that is a challenge to maintain the good relationship. So relationship based on mutual opposition. Mutual म्हणजे काय, दोघांनाही एकमेकांच्या मताबद्दल काहीतरी अपोजिशन असतं आणि त्यामुळे तिथं काहीतरी कन्फ्लिक्ट येऊ शकतात. सो फर्स्ट इज चॅलेंज. देन सेकंड स्पीडिंग पार्टनर्स. सो रिलेशनशिप बेस्ड ऑन हेल्दी कन्फ्लिक्ट अँड पिरियडिक boosts of the conflict. So speeding partners means there is competition but that competition it is healthy. म्हणजे काही मतभेद असू शकतात but that is by following the ethics, because every person may have different principles, every person may have the different strategies to implement. So there is competition, but that is based on totally ethics. म्हणजे conflict म्हणजे काय, मतभेद असणे. But again this word is very important. Healthy conflict means though the conflicts are there, that is healthy means तिथं कुठल्याही प्रकारचं करप्शन किंवा कुठल्याही अनइथिकल थिंग्स तिथं फॉलो होत नाही. So that can be the another type of relationship, speeding partners. Then third type of relation is one way support. So one way support चा अर्थ काय होतो, relationship based on philanthropy. So this word is important and this is new word. So if you see the meaning of this word, so philanthropy stands for the desire to promote the welfare of others, expressed especially by the generous donation of money to good causes. जर एखाद्या सोसायटीच्या वेलफेअर साठी जर काही आपण देणगी दिली तर त्या टाइपच्या गोष्टी येतात जनरली ह्या फिलॅन्थ्रॉपी ह्या टर्म मध्ये. सो रिलेशनशिप बेस्ड ऑन फिलॅन्थ्रॉपी, स्पॉन्सरशिप और अदर फॉर्म्स ऑफ रिसोर्स कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन फ्रॉम वन पार्टी टू द अनदर पार्टी. म्हणजे बऱ्याचदा आपण बघतो की देणग्या दिल्या जातात, डोनेशन दिलं जातं, अनुदान दिलं जातं आणि त्याच्यावरती एखादी कंपनी उभारली जाते. सो दॅट काइंड ऑफ रिलेशनशिप कम्स अंडर द वन वे सपोर्ट. सो दॅट इज थर्ड टाइप. देन फोर्थ इज म्युच्युअल सपोर्ट. त्याच्यामध्ये काय येतं, रिलेशनशिप बेस्ड ऑन फॉर्मल और informal two-way support, such as derived from strategic philanthropy or as formalized through the third party association or body of some kind. So in this case, the two-way, the contribution it is given for the mutual development. Okay, then that is fourth type. Fifth it is endorsement. So endorsement stands for relationship based on paid or unpaid public approval granted from one partner to the another in relation to specific products or programs, such as in the case of labeling and accreditation schemes. So that is fifth type of relationship. So that comes under the public approval granted from one partner to the another partner. That is endorsement. प्रोजेक्ट डायलॉग, ह्याच्यामध्ये काय होतं की दोन कंपन्या मिळून एखादा प्रोजेक्ट जर कंबाइनली डेव्हलप करत असतील तर दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज द स्टेक होल्डर्स रिलेशनशिप बेस्ड ऑन प्रोजेक्ट डायलॉग. सो रिलेशनशिप बेस्ड ऑन डिस्कशन बिटवीन पार्टनर्स रिगार्डिंग स्पेसिफिक प्रोजेक्ट और प्रपोजल, सच एज स्टेक होल्डर्स डायलॉग अकंपनिंग major regeneration or construction of the projects. That is the project dialogue. Combinedly, the two companies are working on some same project. Strategy dialogue. So that is relationship based on discussion between partners over long-term issues and the development of overall strategy for the organization. Okay, so if they are having the dialogues between them or if they are having the relationship between them where they are combinedly going to implement the same strategy for both the organization, that kind of relationship is called as strategy dialogue. Seventh relationship. Then eighth is task force. So this is relationship based on cooperation to achieve specific tasks such as a research project or new product system development. So combinedly they are working on development of some new products or new system. So relationship based on cooperation to achieve specific tasks such as research project. And ninth it is joint venture or alliances. So relationship based on formal relationship or relationship based on formal partnership involving significant mutual resources. So jointly they are working on some product. So these are the 9 kind of relationship with the stakeholders. ओके, किंवा ह्या 9 टाइपच्या रिलेशनशिप स्टेक होल्डर मध्ये असू शकतात. दॅट इज गिवन हिअर. सो यू जस्ट गो थ्रू दॅट 9 काइंड ऑफ रिलेशनशिप्स. जस्ट स्पेंड 1 minute on that. These are first 4 points, and next these are the points. Okay, so is it clear? Yes, whether this point is clear? How to manage the stakeholders relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, next point we are going to start, that is स्टेकहोल्डर रिलेशनशिप मध्ये जर समराइज करायचं झालं आपल्याला तर 3-4 पार्ट मध्ये मेनली समराइज करू शकतो आपण. फर्स्ट थिंग, दिस ब्लॉक वी हॅव सीन 7 key steps how to manage the stakeholders relationship. That are the first 7 keys we have seen. Then why it is important to have the stakeholders relationship proper. Then who are the 3 main stakeholders? Customers, employees and shareholders. Then while accessing the stakeholders relationship, while accessing the stakeholders importance, we have to see these 3 points: power, legitimacy and urgency. After that, there can be 2 kind of relationship, positive and negative. That briefly we can summarize, but in detail these 9 points we have to consider in the relationship. So this kind of relationship can be there in the stakeholders. Okay, so with this we have completed the point managing the stakeholders relationship. Now the next point we are going to start, that is accessing the ethical performance. How to access or how to evaluate the ethical performance. So now you can think or you can apply some logic. ह्याचा अर्थ काय असू शकतो? Accessing ethical performance means if you have to check whether the particular company is following the ethical or not, ethical things or not, then that assessment, it is called as accessing ethical performance. So whether all the ethical things are followed or not, checking that or evaluating that, it is called as the accessing ethical performance. So the same thing it is given here. The effective management of business ethics relies to some extent on being able to access and evaluate the performance. If the ethical performance is low or disappointing performance in business ethics might call for increased attention to ethical issues and problems. आता समजा 10 कंपन्या आहेत, त्याच्यामध्ये 9 त्याचा तुम्ही सर्वे केला, and if you observe that 9 companies are following the business ethics properly, they are having their code of conduct, they are following or they are implementing that code of conduct, then we can say that it is having good ethical performance. पण त्या सर्वे मध्ये जर स्पेसिफिक कंपन्यांमध्ये तुम्हाला प्रॉब्लेम वाटला की if you feel that they are having low or disappointing performance in business ethics, then it might indicate that effective approach to management of the business ethics. Then you have to suggest that more effective approach should be followed for the management of the business ethics. Okay, so for accessing the ethical performance for any company, there are main 3 points that we have to consider. So for accessing the ethical performance, that include social auditing. आपण हे सगळ्या टर्म्स बघणार आहोत one by one. You just understand first. So for accessing the ethical performance, it include social auditing, environmental accounting and sustainability reporting, as well as various other mixtures of the terminologies. So we will see that main 3 things. So approaches prefaced ethical often tend to focus on internal management systems or individual level aspect of the business, such as compliance with code of ethics, legal violations, etc. for ethical compliance audit. So here one first approach for accessing the ethical performance, we have to see that is the ethical compliance audit. So you understand this word, ethical compliance audit. That is one kind of survey where whether the ethics is followed at individual levels or whether the ethics it is followed as a teamwork, both the things are accessed. Okay, so that is called as ethical compliance audit. Compliance म्हणजे काय, एखादी गोष्ट जर ऍज पर एक्सपेक्टेशन झाली नाही तर आपण त्याला काय म्हणतो, इट इज हॅव्हिंग सम कंप्लायन्सेस, म्हणजे काही जे काही लॅक्युनाज असतात किंवा ज्या त्रुटी असतात त्याला आपण कंप्लायन्स म्हणू शकतो. सो इथिकल कंप्लायन्स ऑडिट is a systematic evaluation of an organization ethics program and performance to determine its effectiveness. Ethics is found in approaches which tend to focus on stakeholders' values such as ethical accounting technique and ethical audit techniques. So main approach for accessing ethical performance, it is ethical compliance audit, in which the individual as well as the team level or mutual level ethics at company it is checked. Okay, so that is first point. Then another approach, so you can note down that approaches. What are the approaches for ethical assessment? First one is ethical compliance audit. Ethical compliance audit मध्ये individual level as well as at teamwork level whether the ethics is followed or not, that is checked. So approaches prefaced ethical often tend to focus on internal management systems or individual level aspect of the business such as compliance with code of ethics and legal violation. So that is first point. The next type for assessment, it is environmental assessment. So environmental assessment मध्ये काय focus असेल, obviously it will be focusing on whether because of that business any environmental effect is not happening in negative way, किंवा त्या प्रोडक्टचा कुठेही एन्व्हायरमेंट वरती निगेटिव्ह इफेक्ट होत नाहीये ना, that is checked in the environmental assessment approach. So approaches prefaced in the environmental, they tend to focus exclusively on the organization impacts on the natural environment. So it focus exclusively on the organization impact on the natural environment. Hence, an environmental report will typically report on an organization's policies, programs, and performance in various areas of environmental management, such as air, water pollution, resources efficiency, recycling, etc. So all the things are considered in the environmental auditing or environmental assessment for the business ethics. Okay, so environmental assessment method मध्ये मेनली आपण एन्व्हायरमेंटल गोष्टींवरती फोकस करतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल एअर पोल्युशन, वॉटर पोल्युशन, resource efficiency, recycling system should not get affected, or because of your product any ingredient which is having negative impact on the environment should not be produced. That is there in this environmental audit or environmental assessment. Then third, approaches prefaced as social. So social approach मध्ये काय असेल सांगा मला आता, किंवा social assessment मध्ये काय असेल, what will be there in the social assessment? So we are seeing the various approaches for assessment of ethical performance. त्याच्यामध्ये पहिला आपण बघितलं ethical compliance audit, that is combinedly for individual as well as teamwork. Then next we have seen environmental approach. So environmental approach will focus on checking that there is no any negative impact of your business on the environment. Like that, what will be there in the social approach? Can you tell what will be there in the social approach? Yes, please try to give the answer. What will be there in the social approach? Hello, am I audible? Hello, what will be there in the social assessment technique? काय चेक केलं जाईल सोशल असेसमेंट मध्ये सांगा. Yes, Saili, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
So what will be there in the social assessment? आपण कुठला पॉइंट बघतोय की एखाद्या कंपनीचा इथिकल परफॉर्मन्स कसा ऍक्सेस केला जातो किंवा कशा पद्धतीने त्याच्या इथिकल परफॉर्मन्सचं इव्हॅल्युएशन केलं जातं. त्यातला पहिला पॉइंट बघितला आपण की इथिकल कंप्लायन्स ऑडिट. सो इथिकल कंप्लायन्स ऑडिट मध्ये काय चेक केलं जातं की वेदर द इथिक्स इज फॉलोड ऍट इंडिव्हिज्युअल लेवल and whether the ethics is followed at the teamwork level, that is checked in the ethical compliance audit. This is one way of assessment. Second way of assessment is environmental assessment. So environmental assessment मध्ये काय असणार आहे की त्या कंपनीचा एन्व्हायरमेंट वरती कुठेही निगेटिव्ह इम्पॅक्ट होत नाही ना. मीन्स यू हॅव टू चेक वेदर इट इज गिव्हिंग राईज टू सम एअर पोल्युशन बियॉन्ड द लिमिट. त्यालाही काही क्रायटेरिया असतात. वेदर इट इज गिव्हिंग राईज टू सम एअर पोल्युशन, वॉटर पोल्युशन, नॅचरल रिसोर्सेस जर ह्याच्यामुळे कुठं हार्मफुली इम्पॅक्ट होत असतील तर दॅट यू हॅव टू चेक. देन रिसायकलिंग प्रोसेस कुठे हॅम्पर होत असेल तर दॅट इज चेक्ड इन द एन्व्हायरमेंटल assessment. Then next it is social assessment. So what will be there in the social assessment? काय चेक केलं जाईल सोशल असेसमेंट मध्ये रिलेटेड टू दॅट कंपनी? What that assessment may include? So social assessment, obviously it will be related to the societal elements or it will be related with the human being. कुठल्याही सोसायटी मधल्या एलिमेंट वरती किंवा सोसायटी मधल्या कुठल्याही मेंबर वरती it is not having any impact on their rights, their health, their safety, first thing or their security. कुठल्याही पद्धतीचे ते प्रोडक्ट किंवा त्या बिझनेस मधले प्रोडक्ट ह्युमन बीइंग साठी हार्मफुल आहेत का, that will be checked. Whether they can be safely or whether they are safe to be operated by human being, that will be checked. Then whether they are not making any what we can say injustice with any element of the society, that it is checked. So here the points are given in detail. Approaches preferred social tend to have the covering a range of issues in addition to the environment, such as employee conditions, health and safety of the employees, equal opportunities to be given for each employees, human rights are followed or not, then corporate giving and community relations. So all the things are there in this particular social aspect. Social assessment मध्ये सोसायटीशी रिलेटेड प्रत्येक एलिमेंटला इक्वल अपॉर्च्युनिटी दिली जाते का नाही, त्याच्यामुळे हेल्थ आणि सेफ्टी सोसायटीची हॅम्पर नाही व्हायला पाहिजे. ऑल दॅट पॉइंट्स आर गिवन. किंवा अजून 2-3 गोष्टी जर आपण ह्याच्यात ऍड करायचं म्हणलं तर जेंडर वाईज इट इज नॉट हॅव्हिंग एनी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, दॅट वी हॅव टू चेक. अगेन बेस्ड ऑन एनी कास्ट, रिलिजन, की आपल्या कुठल्याही प्रोडक्टमुळे इनडायरेक्टली वी आर नॉट हर्टिंग, किंवा एखाद्या स्लोगन मुळे डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली आपण कुठल्याही कास्ट किंवा रिलिजनला तिथं अनइथिकली वागत नाहीये ना, दॅट वी नीड टू चेक इन दिस सोशल अप्रोच. ओके. अँड फोर्थ अप्रोच इट इज sustainability. So already sustainability we have seen that any business we can say it is having sustainable when it is having the 3 types of the sustainability satisfied. So what are the three types in the sustainability? Can anyone tell? As per the concept of triple bottom line, when we say the business is sustainable, कुठले आहेत तीन मेन पॉइंट सस्टेनेबिलिटी साठी?
Economic, social,
social, economical and what is that? Social, economical and yes. Okay.
I think environmental.
Environmental. Okay. So triple bottom line नुसार sustainability चे point आपण in detail बघितलेले आहेत. So that 3 points, if it is satisfied, then we can say that the particular business is sustainable. That points you have to consider. And apart from that, the auditing, accounting, reporting are still the other type for assessment of the ethical behavior. Okay, so these are the key points in the assessment of ethical behavior. So if we have to summarize, जर तुम्हाला जनरल पॉइंट्स बघायचे असतील याच्यामधले किंवा generally if you have to describe how to assess the ethical behavior, then these 4 points you can refer: ethical compliance audit, conduction of ethical compliance audit, then next is environmental assessment or environmental approach, then social approach for assessment, and next is sustainability approach for assessment. So these 4 approaches are there. Apart from this, it also includes auditing, accounting and reporting for the assessment. Okay, then this social accounting. So here is one diagram which is giving all the types of things which you can include in the assessment of the ethical performance. So if you see that, so internal audit, preparation of accounts and internal reports, agreements of objectives, verification, publication of report. आता mainly audit हा शब्द याच्यामध्ये बरेचदा येईल. आता प्रत्येकाला ऑडिट म्हणजे काय माहितीये? Can anyone tell? For what purpose any audit is conducted in any company, in any institute? What is the basic intention behind conduction of audit? तर तुम्ही तुमच्या पॅरेंट्सच्या बाबतीत सुद्धा हा शब्द ऐकला असेल बरेचदा की आज त्यांच्याकडे ऑडिट होतं किंवा अनफॉर्च्युनेटली नाउ यू आर नॉट इन द कॉलेज राईट नाउ, बट दोज इफ यू आर देअर इन द ऑफलाइन, you are facing various audits which are conducted in which the students are also involved. So what is the meaning of audit? Can you tell? Audit means what? सांगा मला, ऑडिट कशासाठी कंडक्ट केलं जातं? कशासाठी कंडक्ट केलं जातं? व्हॉट इज द मेन इंटेन्शन बिहाइंड कंडक्टिंग एनी ऑडिट? What is the main purpose behind conduction of any audit? Yes, Meenakshi, can you tell?
It is working or not well.
म्हणजे जे काही कंपनीचे क्लॉजेस आहेत किंवा कोड ऑफ इथिक्स आहे किंवा जे काही एक्सपेक्टेड आहे त्या सगळ्या एक्सपेक्टेड रूल नुसार वेदर द कंपनी इज वर्किंग और नॉट. फॉर दॅट चेकिंग ऑफ थिंग्स द ऑडिट इट इज conducted. So this term will frequently come. That's why I am telling you this word. Audit means the we can say the checkpoint in which whether the things are followed as per the rules or not, that is checked in the audit. So here this cycle it is shown. Policies are defined, then the policy review it is taken, then determination of audit scope, कशासाठी ऑडिट कंडक्ट करायचा आहे तो स्कोप इथं डिटरमाइन केला जातो. ऍग्रीमेंट ऑफ स्टँडर्ड्स अँड परफॉर्मन्स इंडिकेटर्स, आता ऑडिट साठी काही चेक पॉइंट ठेवावे लागतात. सो फॉर दॅट चेक पॉइंट देअर शुड बी अग्रीमेंट फॉर ऑल दॅट चेक पॉइंट्स. दॅट इज द नेक्स्ट स्टेप. Then stakeholders consultation it is taken. Stakeholders surveys are taken. Then internal audit is conducted. Then through the results of internal audit, there is preparation of accounts and internal reports. Agreement of objectives. Then that agreements objectives are verified. Publication of report. Report is prepared and published. And then again there is dialogue with the stakeholders. So this is one general diagram which is telling some important things in the audit. आता एखाद्या कंपनीचं ऑडिट घ्यायचं असेल तर ते का घ्यायचं, कशासाठी घ्यायचं, त्या ऑडिट मध्ये कुठले कुठले चेक पॉइंट असणार आहेत. ऑल दॅट थिंग्स नीड टू बी फर्स्ट डिसाइडेड. देन वन्स इट इज डिसाइडेड दॅट इज ब्रॉट ऑन पेपर. त्याचं एक डॉक्युमेंट तयार केलं जातं चेकिंग साठी. ऑन दॅट डॉक्युमेंट देअर विल बी स्पेसिफिक रिमार्क्स. जसं आपण एखादं चेकलिस्ट असते की आता हा इथिकल थिंग, डिसिप्लिन, फॉलोड नॉट फॉलोड. तुम्ही एखादा फीडबॅक फॉर्म वगैरे भरता, त्याच्यामध्ये रेटिंग असतात 1 to 5. म्हणजे काय देता तुम्ही तिथं, सर्वे असतो तो. सो दॅट सर्वे इज टेकन. देन बेस्ड ऑन दॅट ऑडिट त्याचे जे काही रिझल्ट्स आहेत त्याच्यानुसार रिपोर्ट बनवले जातात. Once that reports are prepared, the reports are published, and based on that, again the corrective actions are taken. So this is about the audit. So in the next points, we have to again see in detail about what are the points engaged in the social accounting, or what are the points involved in the social accounting. So that we will see in the next lecture. So right now you can just remember these 3-4 points which are involved for accessing the ethical performance. First is ethical compliance audit, then environmental assessment, social assessment, and sustainability assessment approach. That 4 approaches are used for checking the ethical performance. Okay, so here we will you just type your roll number and you can leave the meeting today.